Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a genuinely fascinating story. We are going to explore how Tata Motors evolved from a post-war locomotive manufacturer all the way into India's electric vehicle pioneer, spanning 80 incredible years. We're looking at a company that didn't just participate in a market, they essentially built the very roads they eventually drove on, continually challenging the status quo along the way.
To make sense of this massive history, we've organized this explainer into 4 quick chapters: laying the heavy metal foundation, driving India's self-reliance, the mini-truck revolution, and finally, pioneering the electric future.
All right, let's jump right into Chapter 1, laying the heavy metal foundation, focusing on those early years of heavy industry.
So picture this. It's 1945, and the company actually starts out as Telco, the Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company. Tata Sons acquires a railway workshop simply to assemble 5,000 imported railway wagons. Pretty humble beginnings, right? Then by 1948, they introduce steam road rollers alongside the UK's Marshall Sons. But the real game changer happens in 1954. That's when they launch the very first Tata Mercedes-Benz heavy-duty truck on Indian soil.
Now, you might be wondering, were these early trucks actually any good? Well, to prove their absolute durability, 3 Tata trucks entered the famously grueling 1955 Geneva-Bombay Rally. And get this, they covered 8,000 miles without a single breakdown. 8,000 miles. That massive achievement forged a rock-solid reputation for relentless reliability that honestly still defines the brand today.
Moving right along to Chapter 2, driving India's self-reliance. This is where we see a major shift to indigenous engineering.
In what was a true David versus Goliath showdown, the launch of the Tata 407 in 1986 absolutely shook up the commercial market. Tata successfully outperformed some incredibly formidable Indo-Japanese competitors. We're talking giants like Eicher Mitsubishi, CM Toyota, Swarz Mazda, and Alwyn Nissan. This was huge because it proved, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that local Indian engineering could step up and beat established global heavyweights.
The contrast here is super interesting. In their early era, Tata relied heavily on global partnerships, like that famous Daimler-Benz agreement we mentioned, just to build heavy trucks. But fast forward to the 1990s, and they had shifted entirely to locally designed vehicles. This fierce push for self-reliance culminated in 1991 with the Tata Sierra, which was India's very first homegrown passenger sports utility vehicle. And the momentum just kept building. By 1998, they revealed the fully indigenous Tata Indica at the Geneva Motor Show. Championed as the authentic Indian car, it rocketed to the top of the domestic market in just 2 years. This was a massive, undeniable signal to the world that India was completely ready to build for itself end to end.
Let's roll into Chapter 3, the mini-truck revolution, which ended up empowering a whole new generation of entrepreneurs.
So the crucial turning point for this era is the launch of the Tata Ace in 2005. People absolutely love this highly capable vehicle, affectionately giving it the nickname the Chota Hathi, which translates to small elephant. And this little elephant completely transformed intra-city transport and last-mile distribution across the country.
But this wasn't just a clever vehicle launch. By offering 4 different powertrains to suit a variety of different business needs, the Ace skyrocketed to become India's top-selling commercial vehicle. It acted as a direct catalyst, literally enabling millions of everyday people to transition into successful business owners. Talk about real-world impact.
Finally, we accelerate into Chapter 4, pioneering the electric future, looking at their modern innovations and safety benchmarks.
Tata didn't just dip their toes into the EV space. They took the lead. In 2019, they introduced their Ziptron EV technology, which quickly propelled the Nexon EV to become India's most popular electric SUV. They coupled this with uncompromising 5-star global NCAP crash safety ratings, which fundamentally changed the entire narrative around Indian vehicle safety. And pushing even further into alternative fuels, they delivered first-of-its-kind hydrogen fuel cell buses to Indian Oil in 2023. Bringing us right up to the present day in 2025, India's #1 EV, the Nexon, is still pushing those boundaries. It just launched with Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, or ADAS, setting brand new benchmarks in innovation, connectivity, and sustainability. It's a huge step forward for their vision of modern mobility. When you step back and look at this entire 80-year journey, from assembling imported railway wagons in 1945, all the way to engineering 5-star safety-rated electric SUVs and hydrogen buses in 2025, it's nothing short of breathtaking. It leaves us with one massive question to ponder. What on earth will the next 80 years of mobility look like?
Thank you so much for exploring this incredible legacy with me in today's Explainer.